Friends, this is the story of a girl, Annie, who was an erotic dancer in a bar. Annie's job was to take the people who came to the bar aside and give them her services. And one day a Russian boy comes to her bar. Now only Annie knows Russian here. Then her boss said that you should go to him. Annie had to leave her food and go to this boy. Annie talks to Ivan in a rush. She told Ivan that let me take you to the VIP chamber. Ivan is alone in the room with Annie. Annie climbs on top of him and dances. Ivan asks Annie if she works outside the club. Annie gives him her number. The next day, Ivan messages Annie. Annie reaches Ivan's big house. Here it is clear it was seen that Ivan was very rich. Both of them went to his bedroom. Annie offered her services to Ivan. Annie asks him, "How are you so rich?" "I mean, what do you do?" Ivan started jokingly saying that I am a very big gun. Ivan told Annie the name of his father, but Annie did not know him. Ivan asked her to guess, and Annie found out that he was a very rich man. Annie told everything to her friend, and on hearing this, her colleague got angry with her. Annie again goes to Ivan's house the next day. She dances in front of Ivan. They both do the same thing again. Ivan tells Yanni that I am organizing a New Year party. You can also come. It will be a lot of fun. Annie reached the party with one of her friends. Here she meets Ivan and dances. There were 2 more people along with them in the party. When the New Year came, Ivan took Annie upstairs to their room. After doing everything, they both fell asleep. Their eyes opened the next day directly in the evening. Ivan asked Annie if she could do something else with him. Annie asked, "What else to do?" Ivan said, "Become my girlfriend for a week and roam around with me." Annie said it will cost money. They both finalized a deal. Annie took leave from her work and packed her backpack. Ivan's car had come to pick her up. They both started living together for a week. Ivan introduces Annie to his friends. They all started hanging out together. Ivan asks Annie, "Are you happy, Annie?" Said yes. So the next day, all the friends reached Las Vegas by plane, where they partied hard, gambled, did drugs. Ivan was freely spending money, and with this, their 1 week passed. Annie tells us, should we do this again sometime, to which Ivan says yes. But now I have to go to Russia to work in my father's company. He says, but if I get married to an American, then I can stay here. Annie asks, "Then whom will you marry?" Ivan says, "I will marry you." Annie thinks it's just a joke. Ivan says, "I'm not joking, I'm serious." He asks Annie, "Will you marry me? I really enjoyed being with you." Annie agreed, and they got married the same night. Ivan became an American, and Annie left her barber job. Everyone was happy for her except this one girl. Ivan gives Annie an expensive diamond ring. Both of them started living like a married couple, and without any delay, the news of Ivan's marriage reached his home. Ivan's caretaker, Taurus, informed his family members. Taurus tells Ivan that no, it is not like that. Just a few days back I was with her. She is not married at that time. Taurus sent his friend Garnick to Ivan to go and find out what is going on, and Ivan gave his phone here. I was not picking up the phone. Annie asks, "Have you told anyone about us at your home?" Ivan says, "Yes, my family members are a bit like that." Ivan changes the topic here, but Garnick had come here with a boy named Igor. He explains to her that no matter what happens, she should not touch Ivan. They both reach Ivan's house, but Ivan does not open the door. Garny opens the door himself and tries to get inside. Seeing all this, Annie gets scared, and Garny says that I have to give you my show us the wedding license, we don't believe you. So Ivan showed him his wedding license. Garny sends the license to Taurus, and Taurus, who was at a family function at that time, left everything and went away after seeing this photo. Taurus told this to Ivan. He tells Mom that she started shouting at Taurus, but then they get a call from Taurus. Taurus started scolding Ivan, saying that you have ruined your family's respect. I am coming there right now. Your parents will also come there soon. Now, on hearing the name of your parents, Ivan gets scared, and Taurus says that both of you come with me in 10 minutes and get this marriage canceled. Ivan puts on his clothes and says that we have to run away from here. Annie says that I will put on my clothes, but Ivan runs away without Annie. Igor catches Annie, and Annie starts fighting with him. Igor has to hold Annie forcibly, and she is not agreeing easily. She bites Igor with her teeth and breaks Gurney's nose. Now they are forced to hold him. After a while, Taurus comes here. When he saw this scene. When he saw it, he was also shocked. Taurus says that you should hold it like this. Why are you sitting? Should I make her sit aside, untie her hands? She is a little girl, but Garnick said no, don't untie her. Annie says, look, I don't know what is going on here, but I am not giving divorce to Ivan, on which Taurus says that you do not know this boy. This marriage is not real. You will give him divorce. Taurus takes off Annie's ring. Annie started shouting loudly. Those people, they tell her to please keep quiet. In the end, they had to tie her mouth. They said that if she remained quiet, we would free her. Taurus said that I would get you up to $100 after the divorce. You just have to listen to us. Look, Annie said that I want to talk to Ivan once again. The four of them went to find Ivan, go to Ivan's friend's shop. Annie went and told them to call Ivan once, but they refused to call. They said to quietly get out of here, on which Iger had to scare them. He called Ivan out of fear, but Ivan did not pick up the phone. Then Taurus sent Ivan's photo to the people. He shows Annie the scarf and starts asking her about it. But they did not find anything out from that, too. They went back towards their car. On the way, Iger gives a scarf to Annie and tells her to cover herself. Annie gets angry after seeing the scarf. He had to use a scarf to protect himself from the cold. Ahead of him, a car towing person had already towed away their car. Taurus fights with him and frees his car. At that moment, Garnick vomits inside the car. They have to proceed further in the stinking car. Taurus Ivan was getting repeated calls from Ivan's mom, so Ivan reached the same club where Annie used to work. Annie's friend told this to Annie. She informed through a message that when they were going towards Ivan, that girl had already made Ivan sit with her. Annie comes and takes this girl away from Ivan. She asked Ivan that why did you leave me alone? Ivan was completely drunk. He was not able to understand anything. He was not able to understand a single thing that Annie was saying. So he picked up Ivan and took him out of the club, and while going out he said this, Annie and that girl had a fight and they started hitting each other. Iger took Annie out of there. They went and camped outside a court. In the morning they met their lawyer, but Ivan was still intoxicated. They all went before the judge like this. Annie took advantage of this opportunity and tried to tell the judge that our marriage is completely legal. Then they found out that this marriage had happened in Las Vegas and not in New York, so this case would also be solved in Las Vegas only. And then Ivan's parents come here from Russia. They went to Taurus and met Ivan's mom. And in the meantime, Annie. She tries to talk to them that I and your son love each other, but Ivan's mom clearly said that you are Ivan, that he doesn't care about anything, and neither does he love you. They all left from there for Las Vegas. Ivan wasn't even replying to Annie. He is just following his mother's instructions. Annie told him this. She is completely shattered after knowing that Evan also wants to divorce her, and Igor was standing behind and watching all this. Annie tells Evan's mother that now, if this divorce is happening, then I will also take half of your property with me. I will go on this, to which Annie's mom said, don't even think of doing this, or else you will lose everything you have right now. Annie was forced to board the plane. Here Ivan's parents start scolding him, due to which then Ivan started saying that so what if I spent some time with a Scot, what is the big deal in that? Now on hearing this, Annie also started abusing him. And they reached Las Vegas. Now Annie was completely calm, because she had no expectations from Ivan, and their marriage would end by declaring it illegal. When this was done, Iger interrupted and said that it would be good if Ivan apologized to Annie once, but Ivan's mother refused outright, after which Annie also got angry and started speaking and started throwing Annie's mother's clothes on her face. Iger leaves from here with Annie, and somewhere he feels bad for Annie, but Annie hated him. Then he comes to know that yesterday was Iger's birthday, but his whole day was spent in all this. Iger says that I like your name Anora, which was Annie's real name more, but Anora said that your Iger is useless, please keep quiet. Then Iger tells Anora the meaning of the name. Anora, she said that it is good that you are not a part of that family, on which Anora again asks him to keep quiet. Iger says that I was just supporting you. Then Anora says support, you were assaulting me. You kept holding me all the time. Then he says that I did not assault you, all this happened because you are very mad. But Anora said that if Garnick was not there, if it would have been me, you would have done worse to me. It is visible in your eyes. Iger said no, I would never have done anything wrong to you. Here, today they will stay at Ivan's house, and the next day, Iger will drop Anora at her house. Both of them will go to Anora's house. When they reached home, before Anora got off the car, Iger gave her her ring, which he had kept safely. He goes and keeps Anora's luggage inside, but Anora does not get off the car. She takes off her jacket as soon as Iger comes. Anora leaves with Iger. She climbed up and started doing everything with him, but when Iger went ahead to kiss her, Anora started hitting him and she started crying bitterly right there on top of him and friends. This is where the movie ended.